What's up guys, so today we're looking at a big one. Literally. A 17-inch laptop in 2025 still feels like a bit of a statement piece. In a world where everything is going thinner, lighter, more portable, this HP 17T kind of goes in the opposite direction. And honestly, that's not necessarily a bad thing depending on what you need. So this is the newest HP 17T laptop. (17.3-inch HD plus touchscreen display, Intel Core i5-1135G7, 16GB of RAM, 512GB PCIe SSD, Wi-Fi 6, backlit keyboard, Windows 11 Home, all wrapped up in a silver chassis that tries to balance productivity and entertainment in one very large package. First impression, this thing is big. Like, you don't just casually throw this in a small backpack and forget it's there. But there's a reason for that size. That display is doing a lot of the heavy lifting here. A 17.3-inch panel gives you a lot of screen real estate, especially if you're multitasking, working with spreadsheets, or just watching content. It's not a high-end OLED or anything like that, but for an HD plus touchscreen, it's bright enough, responsive enough, and honestly very usable for everyday tasks. The touchscreen part is interesting here because it kind of adds a layer of flexibility you don't always expect in a big laptop like this. You're not going to be flipping it into tablet mode like a 2-in-1 Ultrabook, but for scrolling, tapping, zooming through documents or web pages, it actually feels natural. Now under the hood, the Intel Core i5-1135G7 is not a brand new flagship chip anymore, but it still holds up for mainstream usage. We're talking office work, browsing, streaming, light creative work, maybe some light photo editing. Paired with 16GB of RAM, multitasking feels smooth. You can have a bunch of Chrome tabs open, maybe a video running in the background, and it doesn't immediately fall apart, which is honestly what most people want from a machine like this. The 512GB SSD is also doing a lot of work in the background. Boot times are quick, apps open fast, file transfers feel snappy. Nothing revolutionary here, but it's the kind of reliability you stop thinking about, which is usually a good sign. Design-wise, HP has kept things pretty minimal. Silver finish, clean lid, no crazy aggressive gaming aesthetics or over-designed vents. It's simple, almost office-first in its approach. The trade-off is portability. This is not your ultralight MacBook-style machine. It's more of a set it on a desk and work for hours kind of laptop. The keyboard is actually pretty comfortable. Full-size layout, decent key travel, and the backlighting helps when you're working in low light. There's also a proper number pad, which again reinforces the idea that this is built more for productivity users than casual browsing. Trackpad is fine. Not amazing, not bad. It gets the job done, supports Windows gestures, and feels accurate enough for day-to-day use. But if you're doing serious work, you're probably plugging in a mouse anyway. Now, performance in real-world use is where this laptop lands in a very specific category. It's not trying to compete with gaming laptops or high-end creator machines. Instead, it sits in that sweet spot for students, office users, and home setups where you want a big screen and reliable performance without spending flagship money. Streaming Netflix, YouTube, working on documents, Zoom calls, all of that runs smoothly. Even light multitasking with split-screen workflows feels natural thanks to the large display. And honestly, that's where this laptop kind of makes sense. The screen size changes how you interact with everything. Thermals are controlled well enough. You'll hear the fans under load, but nothing too aggressive. It stays fairly comfortable for long sessions, which again fits the productivity-focused identity. Battery life is decent but not groundbreaking. A big display like this naturally draws more power, so you're not going to get all-day extreme endurance if you're pushing it hard. But for mixed usage, you can get through a workday with reasonable charging habits. So the real question is, who is this actually for? This is for someone who wants a desktop replacement but still wants the flexibility of a laptop. It's for people who value screen space over portability. It's for students, home office users, maybe even small business setups where this laptop just lives on a desk most of the time. If you're constantly on the move, this probably isn't your first choice. But if you want something that feels spacious, practical, and straightforward, the HP 17T makes a lot of sense in its own lane. It doesn't try to be flashy. It doesn't try to reinvent anything. It just delivers a large screen experience with stable performance and modern essentials like SSD storage, Wi-Fi 6, and a solid amount of RAM. And sometimes that's exactly what people need. So yeah, that's the HP 17T 17.3-inch laptop experience. Big screen, solid performance, very straightforward execution. Hi guys, if you want to buy this newest HP 17T laptop, 17.3-inch HD plus touchscreen, Intel Core i5-1135G7 processor 2.4 GHz to 4.2 GHz, 16 GB RAM, 512 GB PCIe SSD, webcam, Wi-Fi 6, backlit keyboard, Windows 11 Home. Silver. Then please visit the link provided in the description.